Hello, and welcome to the weather update. It is 9 p.m. on July 4th, 2021. Happy birthday, America. And weather wasn't too bad today. At least we didn't have too much rain on Long Island, but a lot of clouds around, some breaks of blue sky, but not really that much sunshine. There was a little more toward the evening. Other than that, a good deal of clouds around, and fairly quiet here in the middle of the island. I saw more bunnies than people. There you go, right there. But they were all over the place today. But looking at the satellite, let's take a look at the satellite. I'll show you. Well, this is this evening satellite. You'll be able to see here all the clouds and a little smoke over our area, but mostly the smoke here you see off to the west here on this side of the, here it is right there. So you can see the smoke and a few showers and thunderstorms popping up too as well over here. You could kind of see that right there, just kind of heat of the day kind of things. Look at that. Look at them just firing up there. Look at that. Just run that one more time. Yep. Here they go. You can see them firing up over Canada. And that's not good if there isn't much rain. They could also start fires, because a lot of the fires that are going have been started by lightning as well. We're looking at the higher resolution satellite imagery, and you can see what the story was for most of the day today. Plenty of clouds around, and even some showers and thunderstorms over New Jersey. Not so much over our area, but there were some over New Jersey. Some pretty heavy ones too developed as well. But for our area, just clouds, and here's again all that smoke. And just look at it all. It's disgusting, and it will eventually work through. And actually, I noticed something else too. When you have a lot of smoke, it seems like there's a lot of contrails that seem to be in that smoke too. So it's pretty yucky. It's all coming from this big fire over here. Yeah, looks a little clearer there. You can see this big fire here in Western Ontario, and then of course tons more fires as well out west, as you know. All over the place. And on the west coast too, you got them. Here's one in Northern California, and I'd have to push this back a little bit here, but you'll be able to see this more here in British Columbia. There's so many fires all over the place. Hopefully they're gonna get some rain. It looks like I see a lot of cloud cover. I don't know if there's a lot of rain coming from that cloud cover, but hopefully they're getting some rain, because the smoke is not something that any of us like dealing with, and it's going to be back, and you can see it right here. So eventually we will get into the smoke, though we didn't have to deal with it too much today. Let's look at our current conditions outside right now, and you will see here temperatures are around 70 degrees. Not that hot of a day today. We're only in the 70s. Let's look at those temperatures. They'll put the dew point in here. And you see dew points are in the low 60s, so a little bit of humidity out there, not too bad. And again, temperatures generally in the low, and a little cooler out east, low 60s, and a little warmer in the city, and warmer in Jersey, of course. Got low 70s there, but let's go look at the high temperatures today, and then we'll look at the precipitation. So high generally in the mid-70s today across the island. Mid-70s, maybe closer to 80 on the North Shore. East End a little cooler with the upper 60s. I think they had more cloud cover out there. LaGuardia managed to get up to 79. JFK 78. Islip 73. And, of course, probably hotter in Jersey. Let's see what it was there in Jersey. I'm sure there are more numbers than that. Probably close to 80. Yeah, about 80, low 80s. So much warmer in Jersey, low 80s compared to here. That's actually a lot warmer than here. So let's go look at that precipitation, because they actually managed to get some rain. Now, we'll have to see if it shows up in here, because there are actually some showers, but they're not. Yeah. Oh, that's because I got to roll this back here. All right. Here we go. So there are actually some showers that hit certain parts of Ocean County. Some of them were pretty heavy, too, dropping up to 1/4 of an inch of rain in certain areas. Not really anything in our area here, just very little bit. Look at the radar right now. It does show a couple of stray showers. I don't know if this is ground clutter or These are actual showers over the Long Island Sound here. Just a few isolated showers, and still a few isolated showers over New Jersey. If we were to look at the Ventus sky, you'd also see these isolated showers. And let's roll this back to this afternoon, because there was a lot of showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms actually that developed over Ocean County. Again, it's just because it's hotter there, so it was able to add more energy to the atmosphere. And this cell actually wound up developing right over the Pine Barrens here in Burlington County, moved into Ocean County, and it was actually a pretty strong thunderstorm that actually wound up moving through parts of Ocean Acres, Stafford, Manahawkin, LBI, and it even caused some power outages too. This was actually a pretty significant storm, actually. So yeah, instability in Jersey, not surprising because it's hot there. It just adds more energy to the atmosphere. That's what happens. I don't think there were any storm reports with this storm. Probably not. Let's see. All right, they do have. Let's see if there was any warnings issued. All right, there was a special marine warning issued for that cell, but no severe thunderstorm warning was issued for that. It was a pretty strong storm. Let's go to the window map now, and we'll get some more observations and numbers for you today across the area. So let's first look at Carl Place. At least we have Carl Place back. We're at 70 degrees right now. And if I sound a little tired, it's because, yeah, believe it or not, they worked today. Yeah, I know. And, woke me up around, couldn't rest, thought I could catch up on sleep, but no, they were still doing work. So mid-70s, that's all we were, mid-70s. But you can see the dew points are a little hot, low 60s, so you're feeling a little bit of humidity out there. Nothing terrible. We go to another step. We'll go to compare that to what it was like in Jersey, because it was a lot hotter there. I go to that West Desert here. Let's see. It's actually 69 there right now. But let's see what they got up to, because I think they got up to a lot warmer. Yeah, low 80s, so much warmer there. And then you can see the temperature drop with that shower that came through around 3 o'clock. Dew point higher, too, so more humidity, more heat in the atmosphere in Jersey. And that's how you were able to generate some more of these thunderstorms, though. According to their thing, no precipitation there. Fell. But definitely there was some kind of storm or something that moved through to drop that, at least that dropped the temperature down. And some areas did get rain. We're going to go look at the precipitation. We'll switch this over here. And we'll see some areas of Seaside actually got 0.72 inches of rain. But you can see Toms River, not really much. That cell didn't blossom until it really got towards Seaside, and then it blossomed a little more. And then you had that other cell that hit Barnegat. 0.77 inches of rain. Barnegat, Manahawkin, 0.59. So it's very localized, but where the rain, it was heavy when these storms hit. It actually came down pretty significant. It was actually a pretty heavy storm. And they didn't really issue a warning for it until it got out over the water. I don't know why. I think it might have been worthy of a severe thunderstorm warning. You can see here is a Beach Haven, 0.78. So, yeah, this whole area got 3/4 of an inch of rain. It got more rain. Here on Long Island, not really much of anything. We didn't really see many showers here. And, again, cooler, more stable air over us versus over Jersey, where it's always hotter. And that extra bit of heat put some more energy into the atmosphere to create some storms. Speaking of storms, let's talk about Elsa. Tropical Storm Elsa. All right, so let's get the latest public advisory for Tropical Storm Elsa. Elsa is moving away from southeastern Cuba and Jamaica, and it's expected to move across central Cuba on Monday. As of 8 p.m., location 20.2 north, 78.7 west, about 65 miles west of Cabo Cruz, Cuba, about 100 miles south of Camagüey, Cuba. Maximum sustained wind 60 miles an hour, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour, so it has slowed down significantly. Minimum central pressure 1,005 millibars or 29.68 inches. And what we have here is a tropical storm warning in effect for Cuba. We're going to look at the map, and you'll be able to see where the warnings and watches are here. So here you go. Actually, that's not the map I want. This is the one I want. So you'll be able to see here, tropical storm warnings are now in effect for most of Cuba, and tropical storm watches for the west coast of Florida. So they still have this thing making landfall in Florida sometime now, probably a little more toward Wednesday because it's slowing down. And the concern is once it gets out, leaves Cuba and gets out over the water, could it pick up enough strength again to become possibly a hurricane again? Right now they say no, but you have to expect the unexpected. And after that, the remnants are actually going to ride up the coast. And actually, once it reemerges over water, it could become a storm again. So, yeah, that's again, you got those warmer than normal ocean temperatures. So that will help that along, of course, quite a bit. And if we look at earthandoldskool.net and we use the feature for sea surface temperature anomaly, you'll be able to see these temperatures are well above average across pretty much the whole east here. So these above normal water temperatures, that's enough to keep it's still not that much above normal west of Florida, but off the east coast it is. So you got those warmer than normal ocean temperatures, and much warmer than normal. I mean, if you look at the sea surface temperatures, we've got a 5-degree anomaly south of Long Island, and if we look at the actual sea surface temperature, that puts us at already 71 degrees. So according to this, the water temperature is already up into the 70s. Not supposed to get there until late July, so we're only in the very beginning of the month. So water temperature is well above normal. That does not bode well for tropical season, unfortunately. Let's go look at the Tropical Tidbit site. Look at this on satellite. Take a look at the satellite loop of this, and you see here, it looks kind of disorganized. And again, it's interacting with Cuba, so I think it's probably going to just weaken, continue to weaken very slowly, but it is moving very slowly. The question is, once it reemerges out from Cuba, what happens? We can look at some of these models, too. These are the spaghetti models, so you get an idea of where this thing could track. And the question is, in this area right here, once it gets out over the ocean after it leaves Cuba, could it regain some strength? That is the big question mark. I don't think it would get. If it became a hurricane, it would be a minimal hurricane. But still, it's something that has already caused damage and some death. So this is a storm that's going to need to be watched. And again, it seems like the track is shifting further northwest now. So it's a little more toward the Florida Panhandle in some ways. This cone here, and you see it, and then it would go over land, but then it would reemerge out over the ocean somewhere over the Carolinas and then head east. The good news is it tracks it east and offshore and not right up into our area right now if you look at these models. But of course, things could change between now and then. So you have to stick with the major cone of uncertainty, which is this. And again, we are kind of in it, so we do have to watch it. As far as remnants go, we saw what happened with Isaias. All right. We can also look at an intensity guidance forecast, and you see a few models actually bring this back up to a Category 1 again. So just a few. Most of them don't, but a few do, and that's why it needs to be watched. So let's go look at the models now, speaking of models, and see where our weather will be heading for the next week or so. This upper level low, which was still kind of under the influence of today, kept some clouds around it. Moves further away tomorrow, so I think we'll have more sun. And then we have this weak high pressure that's going to build in over our area. But then you can see, look here's Elsa right here emerging off the coast west of Florida. All right, on this model, and you can see here it actually does pick up some strength again before it makes that landfall. So it does look like it does strengthen when you look at this GFS, and it does gain some strength as it gets back out over the water again. As far as our weather goes, you will see that southwesterly flow on Tuesday setting up by looking at the isobars, and then Wednesday with the heat that we're going to have to watch. And then the moisture from Elsa. We've got this frontal boundary that's once again going to stall out Thursday into Friday, and the question is where it stalls out and how it all sets up and how that's going to steer Elsa away from us or up toward us or whatever's left of Elsa. All right, and then we try to dry it out for next weekend before another. You can see not really any big high pressure systems coming in from Canada, so that means no real cool dry air coming in at all when you look at this pattern, this setup. And again, it's all because of the jet stream again being completely like out of the picture Look at the jet stream. You see there's barely a jet stream here to look at. Really is barely a jet stream that you can't even see it. All right, so it's like this is all again due to Arctic amplification, the warming of the Arctic. So let's go look at the temperatures. Well, we'll go to the precip view first, and we'll look at the HRRR. We do have about 28 hours to zero the HRRR, which will be enough to get us through tomorrow, just to show you a slight chance of an isolated shower. Tomorrow, we're not going to see that. So tomorrow should be dry, no chances of showers. And it will be probably a little warmer as a result. After getting into the 60s tonight, tomorrow, we're going to see, again, that southeasterly to south flow, which means big differences depending on where you're. If you're in New Jersey, you're going to be dealing with mid-80s. If you're on Long Island, you'll be dealing with upper 70s. So it'll be a lot cooler here versus if you're in New Jersey. As far as the dew points go, we'll go look at the dew points. And you see the dew points are rising. So we're going to have dew points in the 60s tomorrow. It won't be that dry. You're definitely going to feel a little humidity. But with that onshore flow, it should keep temperatures on Long Island cooler. But you see, look at the wind barbs, and look what happens as we get to Wednesday. They start going, to get to Tuesday, they start going more southwesterly. So if I switch this over to the GFS, you see more of that southwesterly flow. And that means warmer temperatures. I have a feeling Tuesday is going to be a little warmer now because instead of more of a south flow, we have more of a southwesterly flow, which means that you know what that means. It puts the air from Jersey over us, and we deal with the heat. One thing you can see is that we're definitely dealing with the humidity. Here's Wednesday, similar thing with that west-southwest flow. And you can see this dry air try to get in, but it just doesn't make it because of that stall frontal boundary, and it just washes out over us again. So we can't really get into, if you really want to get nice low humidity, I don't see the humidity going down anytime soon. All right. Looking at the GFS here, let's move this into Tuesday, and you'll see, yep, it's hotter. And you can see now those 90s probably in low 90s probably for, I'm sure we'll be 90 in Mineola, probably low 90s here. And Jersey, you'll probably be in the mid-90s. South Shore and East End, you'll probably be in the 80s. And then for Wednesday, this is the day that's going to be even more brutal because we got more of that westerly flow. So we're going to have the 90s as well for Wednesday, dealing with the heat again. So and then the heat, those 2 hot days, and then by Thursday, you see the heat get squashed again with this front trying to come through, but it's going to stall out. Jersey, you may still be dealing with near 90, but it'll be better for us. And then for Friday, you'll see. Into the weekend, we're not going to be dealing with too much heat as we head, but the heat will be back. I'm sure we move this along here. You could see some heat in Jersey as we move toward the longer range, and you could see more heat. So look at this, and again, the GFS keeps signaling a really severe heat wave as we get toward the middle of the month here with possibly 100 degrees. And I could see it. I could definitely see it the way this whole summer's been going. Let's go look at the skies, I guess, will be the next thing we'll look at here. As far as clouds go, we'll start with the NAM. So here's the NAM. It has a good deal of clouds around tomorrow. All right, and for Tuesday, still some clouds. And you got to remember there'll also be smoke, too. That's the other thing. And this actually looks like some convection activity here for Wednesday. All right. Let's go to RGEM. I'll just back this up, so we'll do this in reverse. All right, here's Tuesday. You can see some cirrus around. Tomorrow, less in the way of clouds. I think tomorrow you have your best chances of sunshine, but then we're going to have to watch that smoke. So we're going to have to watch that. And then more clouds for, more high clouds and haze for Wednesday. And again, with that smoke around, we're definitely going to be dealing with that smoke by then, I think, unfortunately. And if we pull out this whole area here, you will see here. Let me go back to this for a minute. All right, I'll go back to GFS here. Get the clouds here so you can get an idea that we're not really going to have any nice clear days. All right, not tomorrow, not Tuesday. We'll be dealing with the smoke Wednesday, Thursday, where you can see it's just a really crummy pattern we're in right now. All right. as far as that kind of nice sunny, dry, nice blue skies go. Even if you could get that pattern set up, you'd be dealing with the smoke anyway. So, all right, let me just pull this out. Go to the North American regions, and we're going to look at our temperatures on this. You can get an idea just of the heat across the nation here, and the heat that's going to be in Canada, because you still have this heat going on in Canada and parts of Canada right now. It looks like it gets knocked down a little bit, but you can still see the west coast being pretty hot. And getting into next week, there's going to be another heat wave building in the west again. All right, so just pretty hot all over. I mean, you can see that the heat is just, even Alaska, and even Siberia, they're getting some pretty nasty heat wave. Even in Siberia, they've been getting a lot of heat there as well. If we were to look at, let's go to windy.com, and we can talk about Siberia as well. Let's go to the temperatures here. And I also want to look at windy.com as far as ELSA goes as well. So let's, you can see the heat in Siberia here. So look at that. You have areas, even, look at this. This is way up in the Arctic Circle, and you have temperatures near 80 degrees. So this is the kind of heat that you have dealing with. So imagine this is going to get transported and melt the ice pretty quickly. And it's already melting permafrost. And there's a lot of fires going in Siberia. Siberia is getting, they're getting even worse with the fires than we are. If I move this back a little bit, we can look at Siberia over here. And you can see here, look at all the smoke from these fires here. It's the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st of July here. And you see just tons of smoke over Siberia. They have lots and lots and lots of wildfires going. This is, again, this is all part of the climate apocalypse. Maybe that's what I should start calling it, because that's really what it is. Climate emergency may not be a good enough word. Maybe climate apocalypse may be a little more fitting. Some people, they just don't want to accept how dangerous this is. And, it's funny that News 12 almost never talks about it. Really shows who News 12 gears to. Unbelievable how they could not talk about it. So I want to go to earthnullschool.net, and we're going to track the smoke here. There are actually some models that we can use actually to track the smoke. I don't know, is it this one or... Actually, no, it's Ventusky. Let me go back to Ventusky. Yeah, I think it's this one. Track the smoke. I don't want to use Earth Null School this time. So, and I do want to look at the Ventusky as far as the temperature goes. So let's go to pick tomorrow here. Here's tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So you get an idea that it's going to be much hotter over Jersey. You can see the 80s over Jersey. Long Island, much cooler. All right, I'll put this in over 2, actually, the peak heat of the day. All right, but you see what happens. Look what happens. I move this to Tuesday. Look at how that wind direction changes more westerly, and then we're going to die. So you can see the 90s, and in 90s for much of Long Island. It's going more westerly for Tuesday, which means a more of a brutal day, unless you're on the South Shore, of course. And here is Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday look to be pretty brutal. Could be 100 degrees, but you see that wind flow right there off Jersey, and that's what kills us, because Jersey is such a hot place that the heat's literally coming right from Jersey over at least this part of Long Island here, this western part of Long Island here, right here. Unless you're on the South Shore, maybe you see some relief, but even that, I mean, the flow is so westerly, I think most of Long Island's going to be screwed on Wednesday. It's going to be pretty bad. So that's going to be your worst day of the week, is going to be Wednesday. That's going to be absolutely downright brutal. And then we move this to Thursday, and you'll see it'll cool off. More of a southerly flow that day, all right, with chances for precipitation. Again, if we look at the precipitation, you'll see there'll be some chances of showers on Thursday here, and possible thunderstorms as well. Looks like mainly north of the area, but again, this far out, it's really hard to predict exactly what's going to happen with the temperatures. So we know we're going to have 2 brutal days, Tuesday and Wednesday, coming up. Now, I think it was this model, or was it Ventusky? Actually, it might have been Ventusky. It might have been Windy that had the air quality on here. I think it's the windy.com. All right, so if we take the windy.com and we look at the air quality here, it should actually give us the smoke. All right, so we'll be able to look at the smoke here on here and track the smoke. You can see it already has us in it a little bit. All right, and we move this along here, and the smoke is going to get worse as we head into Monday. you'll see the smoke continuing move toward our area. Here's the core of it right here. All right. So move this along here, and you'll be able to see. Here's the smoke, and you can see it's kind of just lingering over us. It gets worse Tuesday. Here's Tuesday. You can see we're in the yellows now. So that has us at 30. 30. I don't know if this is the same one I used. Looks like a different one. But yeah, it has this. So it has this elevated. The bottom line it does. And here's Wednesday. You can see it goes even higher. Some of that might be local. Some of it may be. Aloft. So let's go to windy. I mean, we're on windy, but let's now look at Elsa here. All right, this is Elsa right here. You'll be able to see it. All right, this is usually the European model. I could change this to the GFS, which is what I'm going to do. Because GFS actually is. Actually, I could use the GFS for air quality, too. I might do that. So here's the storm, and you can see we're on wind gusts now, and you can see some wind gusts up near 50 miles an hour. All right. So west coast of Florida looks to have the most impact from the wind. It doesn't look like it's like a lot of wind, but we look at the amount of rain this thing could drop. It could wind up dropping a lot of rain over Florida, and that's, if we were to look at the rain accumulation here, you'd be able to see that it would drop over the next 3 days up to, let's see what it's saying, up to maybe 4 inches of rain in certain spots. So that could cause some flooding too. Look at the waves here. As far as the surf goes, you can see it's definitely going to kick up the ocean here. 10-foot waves, but it's not really terribly dramatic. But we're going to have a better idea of how Elsa is going to be once it emerges out over Cuba. We're going to have a better idea of what's going to happen with that. Now let's see. I think it uses the same one. This is the air quality. This is the air quality for. I don't know. I clicked this the last time. It gave us like an indication of whether the air was healthy or not. But you could see the smoke. Right now, you can see it has less smoke over Canada, but we're stuck at the smoke for our area. So we'll have to see. I don't know if it was this one I used, or maybe it was Ventus Sky I used the air quality. I thought I could swear I used it was on this one. I'm gonna look and see. Maybe it was Ventus Sky. It was Ventus Sky. It wasn't this one. All right, it was Ventus Sky. Okay, so this is a better one with the air quality. I think you'll be able to see. This shows the smoke way better, and you can see how dense it is in some of these areas like Kamloops and stuff. And that's how Kamloops is like a place in Canada where people used to go in the summer, and now it's like so smoky there all the time. They can't go there anymore. It's a real shame. You can see just all these fires here going. All right, so we move this into tomorrow. Let's do that. And you'll be able to see that. And tomorrow isn't too bad with the smoke so far. All right. So we're not going to be dealing with it too much. Still mainly to the west. Let's see what happens on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we start seeing a little more of it. Still saying good. All right. When we move to Wednesday, that's when it's going to say unhealthy for sensitive groups. So Wednesday, between the heat and the smoke, that's when we're going to be dealing with some bad air quality. So Wednesday is probably going to be the worst day of this upcoming week. And you can just see all the smoke around. We can pull out here and see all the smoke that's over Canada here. And let's see, it shows. Look at Siberia too. So lots of smoke here as well. So this is just the world on fire here, folks, as we deal with the effects of climate change. But other than that, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Again, enjoy tomorrow, because I think that's going to be your best day to be outside. It won't be perfect, but at least it won't be too hot, and it won't be too humid, and the air quality shouldn't be too bad. So, because once you get into Wednesday, it's going to get brutal. I'm sorry. Once we get into Tuesday, it's going to get brutal, and it's going to be Tuesday. It's going to be not a great day unless you're on the South Shore. That's going to be the place to be, the South Shore. On the beach, and getting a nice sea breeze. But other than that, that's saying clouds, but I think that's just high clouds. Anyway, that's it for this weather update. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great 4th of July.